What is up, players? It's Warboss Tay up in this mug. Welcome to day 18 of my 2024 Summer Painting Challenge. Here we go. Starting with the Iron Blaster, I am recording it, stamping it in the book of memories that my Vanguard Ogor Mawtribes box is finished. We're just taking a final look at all of the models that I painted for my Summer Painting Challenge this year, finished in 18 days. I am so excited that I got this all done. I stayed focused, I stayed in the game, and I think it helps that I chose a project that did not have too high of a model count and where the models were actually a little bit larger in scale. So it helped me to not worry so much about getting into the details, like if I was painting a bunch of Astra Militarum guys with all the pouches and the different surfaces and textures. Now we're going on to the gluttons. Then that probably would have slowed me up. But I was able to really work out a system and churn through it. And that is the big takeaway from my challenge this year that I want to share with you guys in the second part of this video. But right now, we're just doing a victory lap. We're doing the parade across the field here with all of the models, showing you all the different tattoos. I went by the box art because my plan is to sell these guys, and I wanted to make sure that they looked like the box art because most people want to buy what they see on the box cover. So I went with the tattoos in different areas on the shoulders, the chest, the back, and I'm just really pleased with how they came out. Lead Belcher is always fun to paint up. I think they have so much character in them, and the Ogre Mawtribes in general, what a fun army to paint and to work on. You get those larger models where you can practice those large surface areas, and you get these smaller ones, the Noblars, with all the different details on them that you can really take your time to pick out and have fun with. So here are the two Noblars that came with the Lead Belchers. And then here we go, just proof that I did finish painting them and that the Mawtribes Vanguard box is finished. Here is the first of my Glutton Noblars and the second, based with the black rims painted, washed, highlighted, done and ready for the showroom. God, I'm so excited that I was able to finish this and tell you guys my story, because I am not a person who can finish projects very easily. Like a lot of you, I have a great impetus to start a project. I want to see it through. I have my whole plan in place on how I'm going to finish the project, and then week 3 of the dreaded week 3 comes along from the Warboss Tay Painting Challenge, and real life just hits me like a ton of bricks. And it happened again. It did happen where my amount of time at the painting table just dramatically went down to almost 0. So I had to pick and choose my victories. Oh, here is the Tyrant. I actually painted this guy before the Summer Painting Challenge, but he caps everything together. He ties it all in, and he is just, you know, the crowning pinnacle of what this Vanguard box is. So here's a completed Ogre Mawtribes box. If you go out and you buy your Vanguard box, you want to build them up and paint them as the box cover. This is what they look like. I am so excited that I finished it. And this was the secret to my success. Even with losing the time I did and not having any time to paint, I had my Warboss Tay Painting Challenge journal, y'all. And I've got a link below in the description, which is going to take you to a website where you can purchase one for yourself if you want to go with the official Warboss Tay merchandise, or just copy the formula on the front cover there. I'm going to show you after the break how to use it, but that really is the secret that I found. Well, it's like an ingredient. If I'm making a strawberry upside down cake or strawberry shortcake, strawberries are an ingredient, but they're not the whole cake. So I'm going to show you after the break what other ingredients you're going to need to finish all of your projects right after this. And thank you to my patrons for supporting Warboss Taste Studios throughout the months and the years. I've been talking to a few of you over on the Discord through private message about what it would be like to move over to having memberships only on YouTube, cutting out the Patreon completely. I'm pretty sure that is the direction I'm going to go with moving forward. I'm just going to make sure that I have it all set up nicely when we actually do get it rolled out, so that it's not too much of a crazy transition and that I am able to deliver on the extra perks that it's going to bring with it. Okay, what is the biggest miniature project you've ever undertaken? I think it's definitely either the Vestroyans or the Krieg Summer Painting Challenge that I did many years ago when I had a lot more time and a lot less babies. They were so much fun to take from unpainted all the way up to finished painted miniatures. And that feeling of victory, you guys, that feeling of satisfaction, of completion, of peace and serenity, that the job was hard and you put in the effort and you came out the other end, and now you have a completed army in front of you. This is the formula that I used. So either take it down, or what I would love is if you purchased one of these books and had it for yourself right by your table, big enough for you to keep on your table side. Now, the Ogor Vanguard box is the main goal. That's why I keep that at the top. I'm basically just covering and copying the formula that I have on the front cover of this book. So you've got goals, right? You've got your painting goals that are going to help you once you check off these big goals, like the unit of Leadbelcher, of the Iron Blaster, the Mornfang Cavalry, and the squares. You finish those goals, you check mark those big ones, and those are the big main objectives that are going to help you to say that you finished your project. Now, in order to get those things in the squares painted, you're going to need to take a number of action steps. That's basically your formula for painting what is in those boxes. And you do it in order, so you don't go to the next step until you finish the first step. BC is base coats, so one by one, base coats, washes, highlights. It's basically the formula that I use for all of my painting, but when you have it with a little check mark there, a little tick box, it's going to help you to see where you're going, because you're not going to move on to shades and highlights until you finish the base coats. And seeing it visually in front of you, you're going to be holding yourself more accountable than if you just say, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know what I got to do. I got to put base coats, and then I got to highlight some of these belts, and then I got to wash the armor. And don't just have it in your head. Have a plan. And there's two things that are going to help you to get your project across the finish line. You need the motivation to do it, and then you need the roadmap to do it. So the first one, motivation, is you have to remember why you're painting this project. Why are you doing this in the first place? Without the motivation, you're just going to end up putting your models in a bin and forgetting about them again for another year or so, or however long it is. So give yourself the motivation. Why do you want it? Are you starting a new army? Are you adding to an existing army? Are you going to sell it for lots of money on eBay like I am? Have that motivation so that anytime you start to lag or you start to think, well, I don't really need to paint tonight, think of that thing that's going to motivate you and ask yourself, is it worth it to not paint? And then when you weigh those, then you're going to see that maybe you should get back to the table, because the grind of painting, even though we all hate it, the grind of painting is going to get you across the finish line. And that motivation is it's like the gas in your gas tank, right? But the roadmap is your plan to get there. It's your car. It's the vehicle that's going to carry you there. And the roadmap is on the page before. What are your big objectives? And then what are the action steps that are going to knock off those big boxes? You just do everything on your action steps, step by step by step. Don't get too distracted by splitting your attention over a bunch of different steps and techniques and colors. Have the roadmap of what colors you need, and don't experiment too much. Like, do all the research beforehand and say, okay, I know I want to paint my ogres in this way. I know I'm going to need these colors. So give yourself the roadmap. What colors do you need? What are the steps you're going to take? And just have your journey written out for you. Because if I say, I want to take my family to Disneyland and going to get in the car and just drive without using a GPS, that's dumb. Right? I don't know how to get to Disneyland from my house. But if I put the GPS in, then I know exactly what steps I need to take. So that's it, guys. That's the plan. Just buy one of these journals and support Warboss Taste Studios, or just copy the plan off of the front cover there and give yourself the blueprint to success. All right, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget that the summer sale is still going on in Artel W, 20% off the entire store. It's an amazing savings. And I made the mistake last year of just putting a bunch of things for a second purchase in my cart, but just letting it sit there. And then I don't remember when the summer sale ends. I think it's the end of July. It really comes out of nowhere. And the next day, I think it was August 1st, I went to check out and I saw everything bump back up that 20%. And holy cow, I was like, no, I don't think I can afford all this now. So take advantage of the sale now. You're really going to enjoy having these resin figures to work with. You're going to be the envy of everybody in your painting area because they are such great miniatures. And I love them and I support them. That's why I'm an Artel W affiliate. And that means that if you do purchase something from the website, then I'll be earning a small commission if you use my promo code in the description. But I do support this company so much. I would be buying their miniatures at full price if I didn't have anything to do with them, because I really love the sculpts, I love the creativity, and I just love having something that's different enough from what everybody else at the game store is going to have, but still just fits so well visually with everything else. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you tomorrow for day 19.